Our understanding of the ancient world continues to grow, but there are still many big gaps. We like to believe we know how our ancestors lived and what drove them to create the things they left behind, but sometimes archaeologists discover things that totally turn those assumptions upside down. Every archaeological find in this video does exactly that. Based on everything we think we know about the civilizations that created them, these discoveries simply shouldn't exist. Number 15. The chilling Quiquilo Pyramid. Long before Mexico City became one of the world's largest capitals, another civilization had already risen and disappeared there without leaving behind many answers. The greatest reminder of those forgotten people is the Pyramid of Quiquilo. No one knows exactly who built it, but experts believe their civilization was wiped out by a massive volcanic eruption. Apart from the pyramid itself, very little has survived to tell their story. By studying the surrounding area, archaeologists discovered that nearby farmland was cultivated from about 200 years ago until the 1st century AD, when the Seahhenge volcano erupted and buried the region beneath lava. It's a cruel twist of history, considering these people may have worshipped a powerful fire deity. While some historians believe the entire population perished, others think survivors escaped into different parts of Mexico, carrying their traditions with them and perhaps influencing the later rise of Teotihuacan. Today, only rattlesnakes and tarantulas roam the abandoned site, while the true identity of its builders remains one of Mexico's greatest and most grotesque ancient mysteries. Number 14. The Inca Golden Star Map. Gold meant far more than wealth to the Inca. It represented something sacred, which is why one particular golden artifact has fascinated historians for decades. The object was discovered at the Temple of Coricancha near Cusco, a place that was once covered in sheets of gold before Spanish conquerors stripped it almost bare. Since then, researchers have examined the artifact countless times, hoping to understand the message hidden within its engraved symbols. Several markings resemble the Southern Cross, while others appear to outline part of the Milky Way. That alone would make it extraordinary, but Inca tradition offers another possibility altogether. According to local elders, the design doesn't simply chart the night sky. Instead, it tells the story of Viracocha, the great creator deity, tracing the path he followed from the heavens before arriving on Earth. Comets, stars, and human figures all seem to fit somewhere within the design, yet the complete picture continues to escape interpretation. Whatever its purpose was, the map still guards a language that modern researchers haven't managed to read. Number 13. The ancient carving of a dinosaur. Cambodia's Ta Prohm is one of those rare places where it almost feels as though nature has become part of the monument itself. Thick tree roots wrap around the ancient walls, vines spill across the stonework, and the surrounding jungle has slowly claimed much of the temple over the centuries. Built in 1186 by King Jayavarman VII as a Buddhist monastery, its walls are covered with carvings of gods, celestial dancers, and even the face of the king's own mother. But among all those familiar images, one small carving has attracted far more attention than anyone expected. Hidden away in a quiet corner is what appears to be a dinosaur. The resemblance is difficult to ignore, with its rounded body, curved back, and distinctive plates running along its spine. The mystery is obvious. Dinosaurs weren't identified by science until 1824. But this carving predates that discovery by nearly 1,000 years. Whether it represents a misunderstood animal or something we can't explain, it remains one of Ta Prohm's greatest puzzles. Number 12. Rousekina. Most of us leave stories about magic behind when we grow up. Iceland, however, has one legend that refuses to fade. It's centered on Rousekina, a mysterious book of black magic believed to contain rituals powerful enough to summon Satan himself and even command him. According to Icelandic tradition, the book was written by Gotskilk Nikulsson, the Bishop of Hlar, who lived between 1469 and 1520. Despite serving as a pretty respected Christian leader, historical accounts also describe him as ruthless, ambitious, and deeply fascinated by witchcraft. Over time, that fascination is said to have turned into an obsession. His own writings reportedly claimed he wanted to control Satan and use that power to rule the world. When he died, local people were so terrified of the book that they supposedly buried it with him rather than risk anyone opening it again. If the legend is true, both the bishop's grave and Rousekina still lie somewhere in Iceland, waiting to be discovered or perhaps left alone forever. Number 11. The Olmec magnetism mystery. Most history books credit the discovery of magnetism to the Greek philosopher Thales of Miletus around 2600 years ago. But across ancient Mexico, the Olmec civilization may have been experimenting with magnetic force centuries before that. It sounds surprising, but the evidence has kept researchers talking for years. At several Olmec sites, including Monte Alto and La Venta, archaeologists have uncovered artifacts displaying unusual magnetic properties that don't appear to be accidental. Several of the famous potbelly sculptures and colossal stone heads contain magnetic hotspots in the same locations, suggesting a deliberate pattern rather than chance. Perhaps the most amazing find is a magnetic bar dating back roughly 3,400 years, which some researchers believe may have served as an early compass. One sculpture even features a naturally magnetic snout, an odd detail that seems difficult to explain unless its creators intentionally selected the stone. Why the Olmecs understood magnetism, how they found it, and what purpose it served remain questions that archaeology still cannot fully answer. Number 10. Gran Pajan. Hidden high within the cloud forests of northern Peru sits a place that remained untouched by the outside world for centuries. This pre-Columbian archaeological site first came to wider attention during the 1960s. Although its circular stone buildings were already around 2,200 years old. 16 structures stand across the mountaintop, several decorated with detailed mosaics and carved figures. Archaeologists believe many of those artistic additions were made much later, with some attached during the 16th century. Birds, human figures, and symbols commonly linked with the Inca appear throughout the walls, creating another layer of mystery around a settlement that may have existed long before they arrived. Ironically, discovering Gran Pajan also placed it in danger. Thick jungle vegetation had protected the ruins for centuries. But once cleared away, rain, plants, bacteria, and changing weather began wearing the stone down far more quickly. Researchers are now racing against time, hoping to record every possible detail before this mind-boggling place slowly disappears forever. Number 9. Newgrange Passage Tomb. Ireland is home to many remarkable ancient monuments, but few leave visitors as speechless as Newgrange. Standing proudly in the Boyne Valley for more than 5,000 years, this enormous passage tomb is older than both Stonehenge and the Great Pyramids of Giza. Time has done surprisingly little to weaken it. Even after thousands of years, the structure remains remarkably watertight, a testament to the extraordinary skill of its builders. Its greatest surprise, however, arrives only once each year. At sunrise on the winter solstice, a narrow opening above the entrance allows sunlight to travel deep inside the passage before illuminating the central chamber with astonishing precision. Achieving such an effect would have required an impressive understanding of the sun's yearly movement across the sky. The walls are also decorated with elegant spirals and geometric carvings that remain strikingly clear today. Whether Newgrange served as a tomb, a ceremonial sanctuary, a calendar, or something far more symbolic, its purpose is still debated, adding another layer to its enduring mystery. Number 8. Adam's calendar. Not many people have even heard of Adam's calendar, and that only makes it more intriguing. Hidden among the hills near Imanzana in South Africa, this strange circle of towering dolomite stones has puzzled researchers ever since it was brought to wider attention. The stones form a ring measuring roughly 100 feet across and appear to line up with certain stars, leading many people to compare the site with Stonehenge. Michael Tellinger believes it could be the oldest human-made structure on Earth, built by a civilization that vanished long before recorded history began. That's a bold claim, and plenty of historians disagree with it. Even so, no one has been able to offer a convincing explanation for why the stone circle exists in the first place. Unlike many famous archaeological sites, it stands almost completely alone, with very little nearby to reveal who built it or why. Until stronger evidence comes to light, Adam's calendar remains one of South Africa's most fascinating and least understood ancient mysteries. Number 7. The Mammoth Tusk Map. An ordinary piece of mammoth tusk turned into something extraordinary after archaeologists made a remarkable discovery near the Ukrainian village of Medzhirich in 1966. Etched across its surface were lines and patterns unlike simple decoration. Instead, they appeared to form a carefully arranged landscape showing a cluster of dwellings beside a river. If that interpretation is correct, the carving may represent one of the oldest maps ever created, dating back around 12,000 years to a time long before writing had even been invented. Because the tusk came from a mammoth, its age fits comfortably within that distant period of prehistory. Not everyone agrees with the idea. Some researchers argue the markings are nothing more than random scratches without any deeper meaning. Others see clear organization that seems far too deliberate to dismiss as chance. If it truly is a map, it suggests Ice Age people possessed a level of planning, observation, and spatial awareness far beyond what we once imagined. Number 6. Seahhenge. Shifting tide can sometimes reveal what centuries have managed to hide. That's exactly what happened in 1998 when changing sands along a beach near King's Lynn exposed a circle of ancient oak posts surrounding an upside-down tree stump. Newspapers quickly nicknamed it Seahhenge, although archaeologists point out that it isn't technically a henge at all. Whatever its proper name should be, one thing is beyond doubt: it was deliberately built by human hands. Tree ring dating later showed the timbers were almost 4,000 years old. Back then, this stretch of land wasn't an open beach but a salt marsh, meaning the wooden posts would never have survived if they had been left where they stood. To preserve them, the entire structure was carefully removed and transferred to Lynn Museum. Many researchers believe it served as a burial monument, although that's often the default explanation for ancient sites whose real purpose has been forgotten. Seahhenge still keeps its greatest secret to itself. Can you explain it? Number 5. Fag Elgamus. A million mummies sounds more like the plot of a movie than something archaeologists would ever expect to find. But that's the astonishing estimate attached to the ancient burial ground of Fag Elgamus in Egypt. Since the site was first identified more than 40 years ago, excavation after excavation has revealed an enormous cemetery unlike almost any other. The burials date to the period when Egypt was ruled by the Byzantine Empire, roughly between the 1st and 7th centuries AD. That's where the mystery begins. In ancient Egypt, deliberate mummification was normally reserved for royalty or people of high status, but Fag Elgamus tells a completely different story. Many of the dead were buried without coffins, jewelry, or valuable possessions. Researchers now believe the preservation happened naturally as the hot, dry sand slowly dehydrated the bodies over time. That answers one question, but raises another far bigger one. Where did all these people come from? Well, whatever your theory, drop it below. Number 4. The mysterious tombs of Han Dynasty archaeologists always hope to find an untouched tomb. But finding four together is something far more unusual. That's simply what happened in 2021 during excavations in Hunan province, where researchers uncovered four sealed graves that had remained undisturbed for almost 2,000 years. Every one belonged to a woman whose identity has been lost to history. Even so, the objects buried beside them speak volumes. Hundreds of carefully crafted items filled the tombs, including ceramics, bronze figurines, iron tools, glass beads, and silver ornaments, all suggesting lives of wealth and importance. The burials span nearly 2 centuries, stretching from the Eastern Han Dynasty into the Three Kingdoms period, making the discovery especially valuable. Funeral customs from this era remain poorly understood, and these graves offer an unusually clear glimpse into that forgotten world. Some ceramic pieces even carry markings never seen before in Han discoveries. Combined with evidence of long-distance trade, the tombs reveal a society that may have been far more connected than historians once imagined. Number 3. Patchakamak mummy bundle. Finding ancient mummies in Peru is uncommon enough, but discovering one preserved inside a tightly wrapped burial bundle is even more remarkable. That was exactly what happened in May 2018 when archaeologists working near Lima uncovered a 1,000-year-old mummy bundle in extraordinary condition. The discovery was made at Patchakamak, one of Peru's best-known archaeological sites. Even so, the find surprised researchers because the area had been heavily looted centuries ago, leaving very little untouched. The people who created these bundles lived long before the Inca, although nobody knows what their civilization was actually called. Their custom was to wrap the deceased in thick layers of fabric together with carefully chosen grave goods placed inside the bundle. At first, scientists hoped the remains would reveal the person's age, health, gender, and even the cause of death. Unfortunately, time had erased many of those answers. While the mummy survived in impressive condition, it still refuses to tell archaeologists the identity of the person hidden beneath its ancient wrappings. Number 2. The ancient owl pipes well. Not every archaeological mystery comes in the form of a giant monument or a forgotten city. Sometimes the biggest questions are hidden inside objects small enough to hold in one hand. That's certainly true of the remarkable smoking pipes discovered at Tremper Mound in Ohio. Dating back nearly 2,000 years, these carefully carved pipes take the shapes of animals including owls, raccoons, and toads. Their workmanship is impressive. But another detail has puzzled researchers for years. Instead of facing outward like most ceremonial carvings, the animals look inward toward the person using the pipe. Many archaeologists believe they belong to shamans, with each creature representing a spiritual guide or guardian. The materials add another layer to the mystery. Some were carved from Michigan catlinite, while the owl pipes were made from a rare flint clay found only in northern Illinois. But none were discovered in either location, pointing instead to surprisingly extensive trade routes that connected distant communities through ceremony, craftsmanship, and amazing belief. Number 1. Robin Hood's Ball. Almost everyone has heard of Stonehenge, but very few people realize another ancient mystery sits less than 2 miles away. It's called Robin Hood's Ball, although despite the famous name, it has absolutely nothing to do with England's legendary outlaw. In fact, nobody even knows why the site carries that name. It first appeared on a map in 1820 without any explanation, and the mystery has remained ever since. Archaeologists identify it as a Neolithic causewayed enclosure made up of interrupted ditches connected by narrow causeways leading toward the center. Thousands of years ago, anyone standing inside would have enjoyed sweeping views across Salisbury Plain in every direction. Stonehenge may even have been visible from there, although most evidence suggests Robin Hood's Ball was built earlier than the famous stone circle. Researchers believe people gathered here around 6,000 years ago and continued using it for roughly a millennium. But why they kept returning is still a puzzle. Well, that's all from us. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Take care, and we'll catch you later.